Hey everybody, it's Flare31 here. Welcome back to more Pokemon Yellow Remastered. In the last episode, we took care of Celadon City once and for all. We did the Team Rocket hideout in the game corner, and then we also took care of the gym while we were here. And in this episode, we're actually going to head out east from here because we have nothing left to do over there, and we can't progress west because of the Snorlax blocking the road. So we really only have this way to go. This is one of those guard stations where the guard's like, I'm thirsty. Blah, 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 blah. Whoa, boy, I'm parched. Huh? I can have this drink? Gee, thanks. Yeah, if you have a fresh water in your inventory, then he'll like recognize that and you'll be like, you want this fresh water? And then he'll glug it down. If you want to go to Saffron City, you can go on through. I'll share this with the other guards. Thanks, bro. So yeah, all 4 of these little gates that block entrance to Saffron City are now free to pass through. There's one in each cardinal direction. Sylph's latest product. Release to be determined. Okay, well, great. That's useless. So yes, this is our new city. It's called Saffron City. Trainer tips. New Great Ball offers improved capture rates. Oh yeah. Try it on those hard to catch Pokemon. As Sylphco, our Pokeball inventor, manufacturer of the Pokeballs. So we can come into our Pokemon Center and heal here, so we can fly here whenever we want. Pokemon growth rates differ from species to species. I don't think I've seen species without the S, like, ever. It would be great if the Elite Four came and stomped Team Rocket. That would be great. Why don't they do that? Sylphco is very famous. That's why it attracted Team Rocket. Oh, Team Rocket's here? I haven't seen them yet. You know, I'm going to hold off on healing for now. I really don't need to. Actually, no, I'm going to do it. So I'll do that, and then we'll keep going. Okay, well, there's a Team Rocket guy right there. With Sylph under control, we can exploit Pokemon around the world. Sounds great. Down here is our southern gate that leads us to Route 6, I'm pretty sure is what it is. Hi, thanks for the cool drinks. Me who brought 1 water bottle, that was it. I don't know how they're rationing out that 1 water bottle, but good for them. Mr. Psychic's house. Mr. Psychic, you say? Wait, don't say a word. You wanted this. Thanks for the TM. TM29 is Psychic. It can lower the target's special abilities. Yeah, so Psychic, one of the best moves in the game. And he just gives you the TM for it for free, right there. No big deal. Now, I have nothing that I want to put Psychic on right now, so we're not going to teach it. But it's cool that it's here and you can get it this early. Like, obviously we could have gotten it even earlier if we had just come in here straight from Celadon City instead of doing all the game corner and gym stuff and stuff like that, but it didn't really fit the flow of what I was going for, so that's kind of the price you have to pay to deal with my Let's Play. I'm a security guard. Suspicious kids I don't allow in. Is this Sylphco? Sylphco, office building. Okay, well, I didn't want to go in there anyway. Take that. So, yeah, we're gonna have to deal with Team Rocket just like blocking access to everything. Saffron belongs to Team Rocket. We even like beat them up in their own hideout and they're still blocking everything in here. What do you want? Get lost. Saffron City. Shining Golden Land Commerce. Boss said he'll take this town. He kind of already did. Guess he wasn't lying. Alright, so up here is the northern gate that leads out to Route 5 up to Cerulean. And then obviously south is down to Vermilion City. We're kind of like in between those two. North to south. Now we have a gym here. And we have another gym over here. Fighting Dojo. Saffron City Pokemon Gym. Leader Sabrina. The master of psychic Pokemon. Yeah, so we have the real gym, you know, the one that you actually care about. And then we have like a gym, like in the traditional sense of the word, because it's about fighting, like martial arts. Unfortunately, we can't get into the gym. Get out of the way. But we can get into the dojo. We'll come back to that. Ow! Watch where you're walking. You deserved it, whatever I did. We do have the Pokemart, which they are kind enough not to block, I guess. Revive is costly, but it revives fainted Pokemon. So is the Pokemon Center, for free. Max Repel lasts longer than Super Repel for keeping weaker Pokemon away. So I take it you sell Max Repel? Yeah, you do. Let's go. Getting some good items. Full heals, Max Repels, Hyper Potions. Like, this is a pretty stocked Pokemart. Fortunately, we don't really care about any of that. I think that actually basically takes us around the whole thing, because this is just the Silphco building down here again, right? Yep. And so yeah, that's this whole city. It's like, it's pretty big, but you know, there's not a whole lot in it. Trainer tips. Full heal cures all ailments like sleep and burns. It costs a bit more, but it's more convenient. Great, I needed that trainer tip. All right, let's, since we're here, go ahead and stop into the dojo. Let me guess, Blue beat this too, huh? Oh, they don't tell you. Just this fighting dojo. Okay. I respect it. There's like a bunch of trainers in here. Hoo-ha! You are trespassing in our fighting dojo. Trespassing? What if I want to join? Do you guys offer memberships or what? Just kind of walk in and go, hello, is this a Planet Fitness? Let's dig, I guess. We'll cut for this, for the kill here. A dig PP is very precious. Minky, dig again. Low kick. Whoa, okay. Calm down. And that Primate. And they're pretty high level. Like, we're on par right now. Essentially. Focus energy. Imagine using that in Gen 1. If you don't know, Focus energy actually does the opposite of what it says it does. It supposedly is supposed to raise your critical hit ratio so you crit more often. It does the opposite. It like quarters it or something really bad. Oof, I give up. One of those Gen 1 bugs. Infamous Gen 1 bugs. Alright, we're bringing out the big guns. Bring in Sky Emu D3. I hear you're good. Show me. I was gonna spam, like, click through all the text mood. I did read it though somehow. All right, we got Drill Peck on command right here. Oh, we level up like instantly? Okay, well, that's not useful. I think I might just keep Sky Emu out for the rest of the gym question or quotations on that. The fighting dojo. Just because, you know, flying type is good against fighting type. Judge, 1 point. Yeah, we'll just put up with it. Nothing tough frightens me. I break boulders for training. You should go visit Brock. Oh, I love Drill Peck. It's so good. It also helps that Sky Emu is just really good. Yow! With stubbed fingers. One more little, you know, fly on the wall. Oh! Take your shoes off. Yeah, Minky. This guy has 3 Pokemon. Don't make me growl you. Because for some reason I still have that move. Do you really only have 3 Minkies, or do you have like a Primeape in the back? You do have a Primeape in the back. Okay, I respect it. Level 34? We're gonna be like maybe level 35. Oh, I didn't read his text. I need to like get back in the mindset. Grunt. Reading out sound effects is always fun. I am the karate master. I am the leader here. You wish to challenge us? Expect no mercy. Fwa! So yeah, this is our gym leader. TM. He's got a Hitmonlee. Hitmonlee is not a Pokemon to be trifled with. So we're gonna hopefully just take it out instantly. Yep, like it's nothing. And then he's also got a Hitmonchan. Again? Well, actually, honestly, Hitmonchan's not all that good. But still, we took it out instantly. And that's all the Karate Master has for us. Beaten. Indeed, I have lost. But I beseech you, do not take our emblem as your trophy. In return, I will give you a prized fighting Pokemon. Choose whichever one you like. Yes, we get a choice between 2 Pokemon. On the right side, we have Hitmonchan, the punching Pokemon. You want the piston punching Hitmonchan? No. And then on the left, we have Hitmonlee, the kicking Pokemon. You want the hard kicking Hitmonlee? Yes. So this is actually a choice. I'm not going to give a nickname to Hitmonlee. We're not going to use it on the team. But yeah, this is actually a choice that you have to make. Whichever one you take means that you cannot take the other one. And I'll give my 2 cents on which one I think is better right now. I think it's Hitmonlee, the one I just took. What does this banner say? Enemies on every side. So yeah, if you try to take this, better not get greedy. Oh, okay, Red. Oh, stay and train at karate with us. Karate. But yeah, I think Hitmonlee's better. We'll get into it with its bio though. So let's go ahead and read its Pokedex entry. There it is. On first glance, it probably looks pretty good, right? 120 base attack, very, very high, very good. And 87 speed's respectable enough, with the rest of its stats being rather crummy. And, you know, it's kind of like a glass cannon build. That's why I would call it high speed, high attack, and like terrible everything else. That's pretty much a glass cannon, right? On its own, like if you just have that information and you're working off of that, it's probably still going to be a pretty solid Pokemon. In fact, it is still a solid Pokemon within that context. It'll just dish out damage like it's nothing. And as long as you don't get hit by anything too crazy, it should probably be fine. Because like even frail, defenseless Pokemon can live like at least one hit from something, as long as the other something that you're fighting is an in-game team. Usually, like the NPC Pokemon are not all that strong. So even the downside to Hitmonlee isn't like a crazy big downside. It's just like its quirk. It can't be too powerful. Otherwise, what's Machamp's doing? Machamp's role, you know. Machamp is the bulky Pokemon. But one of the most alluring things about Hitmonlee is the fact that it has the highest attack stat of any fighting type in the game that isn't Machamp. Therefore, if you don't have access to Machamp, this is like a no-brainer in terms of best fighting type in the game. But you know what? That's actually not the real reason that Hitmonlee is the best fighting type in the game. Arguably, again, not including Machamp, which is situationally going to be better, right? The real reason is because of Hitmonlee's move pool, which actually isn't anything special. It's what you would expect from a fighting type, where it's just fighting type moves and normal type moves. And that's basically it. No, what actually matters with Hitmonlee is its signature moves. It has 3 of them: jump kick, high jump kick, and rolling kick. All 3 of those moves are just good fighting type moves on their own. They're progressive. Rolling kick is the lowest damage, and then jump kick is a bit higher, and then high jump kick is even higher than that. And Hitmonlee does learn them by level up in that order, in that progressive order. So it's just like a nice, like, oh, this Pokemon actually gets good fighting type moves and doesn't have to use submission, most likely by TM. Crazy. That already makes it like unironically the best Pokemon in the game for a fighting type, the best fighting type in the game. And you might be like, well, high jump kick's only base 85 power. Yeah, it's only 5 power more than submission. And sure, it's more accurate, 90% accurate, but it does recoil damage if you miss. And that recoil damage is significant. And to that I say, this is Gen 1. Gen 1 is dumb, and they've made a coding mistake. Recoil for high jump kick does 1 HP. Yeah, that's right, 1 HP. Fixed amount every single time. Therefore, it's basically painless if you miss. And it's higher base power than the submission. High jump kick is the best fighting type move in the game. It just is. And this is the only Pokemon that can learn it. That alone is so good for Hitmonlee. I think I could just stop talking about it right now, but of course, we're going to go to the recommend moveset and go over it real quick. High jump kick, of course, I just said, best fight type move in the game. Body slam is just on there for giving it something to paralyze other things with. You know, some sort of utility on the moveset. Because otherwise, I mean, normal doesn't really cover anything that fighting won't already do, except for, I guess, psychic types or something like that. Whatever resists fighting. Normal can cover also. And then furthermore, Seismic Toss will let Hitmonlee hit ghost types, the singular ghost type in the game, and also, of course, deal with really defensive Pokemon. that it otherwise would have trouble against because fixed damage. And then finally, I put Meditate on here, which is a move that raises your attack by 1 stage. So it's not Swords Dance, which raises attack by 2 stages. It's not that good, but it's the best that Hitmonlee gets access to. And it fits well because it raises attack and Hitmonlee's using its physical attack. That's all well and good. But because Hitmonlee is so frail, using your first turn to like set up Meditate, maybe not the best decision. I was kind of just like at a loss where I was like, what do I put on here? Because the move pool is really shallow outside of the fact that it just has a really good fighting type move. And so I wound up putting Meditate on here kind of for fun. If you are, first of all, someone that doesn't like using stat increasing moves or just don't see the utility in such a frail Pokemon using a move like that, you could also put Strength on here, the HM move, Strength, as like essentially just using the slot for an HM move. A very noble cause, I would say. Outside of that, I mean, it doesn't really get much better. Like, I guess maybe you could put something crazy like Double Edge on there, or I don't know. That's basically it. Double Team. Toxic? No, you don't want to put Toxic on this thing. Regardless, that's all I have to say about Hitmonlee, though. It's just a really, really good fighting type. I would say it's the best fighting type in the game. Like, I like it more than Machamp, even though Machamp's really cool. And you can actually obtain it regardless of what your circumstances are. So, if you have wanted to use a fighting type in Gen 1 and you've been holding out for something, this is it. This is your time to pick up a really, really good fighting type for Gen 1 standards anyway. Now let's move on. The kicking Pokemon. When kicking, the sole of its foot turns as hard as a diamond on impact and destroys its enemy. Alright, now that we have that all out of the way, there's really nothing else to do in Saffron City. Like, it's, you know, it was that easy. We didn't even take damage. Like, we just kind of over leveled a little bit. We're gonna head out to the east again because, you know, obviously we've gone north already. We have nothing to do with Cerulean City anymore. We've gone south to Vermilion City already and done everything there. And east here puts us back on route, I think this is route 7. Or no, maybe this is route 8, and then out west of Saffron's at route 7. Either way, we've already cleared this route, obviously, because it comes from, or goes to, depending on how you look at it, Lavender Town. And if you recall, there was Pokemon Tower here. I'm actually going to heal before we go in there. Surprise intermission. We're actually trading right now, mid-episode. It's never happened before. Yeah, so I do want to trade. I went out onto Route 8 in Pokemon Yellow, and I picked up a Kadabra in the wild. You can catch those in the wild and on Route 8 in Pokemon Yellow only. And of course, it knows the move Kinesis, also solely unique to Yellow, as we covered in the bio. And I'm doing that because I want to trade for the Hitmonchan, you know, the Pokemon that we couldn't get at the dojo. This is our way of getting it. The only way you're going to get it, the opposite of whichever one you chose, right? So we're going to do that trade. And now that we're done with that trade, let's go ahead and just, get back to what we were doing. All right, we're back where we should be. We have our Hitmonchan, of course. I low-key was gonna not evolve that Kadabra when I traded it over, but I forgot to cancel the evolution. Whoops. That's okay though, it's not a big deal. Of course, we're gonna go over its Pokedex bio right now. My real motivation. Finally, we can make a proper comparison. Hitmonchan isn't the worst fighting type in the game, but it's easily the most disappointing. And that's for one very specific reason. Its move pool. I know, the move pool is very important with the Hitmon Pokemon, if you will. So, Hitmonlee was all about kicking. I didn't really go over it, but all of its attacking moves were kick moves. It had double kick, it had the other kicks that were its signature moves, and it also got mega kick at the end of everything. And that was all it got for level up with its attacking moves. Hitmonchan gets punching moves as its only attacking moves via level up. This includes Comet Punch and Mega Punch, but then unlike Hitmonlee, which gets 3 goated fighting type signature moves, Hitmonchan gets 3 elemental punches, which are actually pretty cool moves on their own. Fire Punch, Ice Punch, and Thunder Punch. All of them are 75%, base 75 power, and 100% accuracy. Those are good moves. Like, in a vacuum, really solid. Like a fighting type with coverage, especially against flying types in particular. What's not to like, right? We could do some mixed attacking. It'd be great. Oh, yeah, that's right. Both of the Hitmons have a special stat of 35. Yeah, so that's why it's disappointing. Hitmonchan has the only thing that's unique about it being that it can learn Fire Punch, Ice Punch, and Thunder Punch. But then it can't use them worth anything. It's not even worth putting it on the moveset. That's how bad Hitmonchan is at using its own moves. Like, I don't know what they were thinking when they made this Pokemon, because the choice just like isn't even close. There's never a reason to pick up a Hitmonchan over a Hitmonlee, while you're basically getting like a really bad version of Machoke. Like, the extra 5 attack is just not worth it. You could get Primeape or Machoke and it would just be better. It's ridiculous. I don't want to like just sit here and rag on Hitmonchan the whole time. So on the other hand, Hitmonchan isn't completely horrible. Its stats are still good. Like, they're worse than Hitmonlee's. Like, they're less specialized, but at least you have a bit more defensive bulk to make up for it. And the attack stat is still very respectable, still good. And the speed stat's still also respectable. So you can definitely put in some work with Hitmonchan if you really wanted to. Like, if you were deciding to just use it for the heck of it, it'll still put in some work for you. You just have to rely on submission instead of having a nice high jump kick or something similar. Because unlike Hitmonlee, Hitmonchan doesn't learn any fighting type moves by level up. If you want to have a fighting type move, you have to teach it submission. The only other thing it gets by level up is counter, which is a fighting type move, but counter is obviously not a direct damage move. And then seismic toss. Again, not a direct damage move. So, if you ignore that you'll have to put submission on it via TM, it's okay. Like, it's better than a Mankey, for sure. That's all I can think of off the top of my head. There's like, I don't know, Machop. There's maybe some other fighting types that we haven't actually seen yet that it's better than maybe, but even then that might be a stretch, I'll be honest. The point is though is that as long as you don't put it in against fighting, or rather psychic or flying types, it should be fine. Like, it's not so bad that it's unusable. It's just, you look at all the potential and then you're like, oh, they completely screwed this Pokemon over. And it's not even its fault, really. It's just they gave it a horrible special stat and then gave it a bunch of special attacking moves. Beyond me. Either way, Hitmonchan's recommended moveset by yours truly. We start with submission, of course, and then body slam. You kind of, what else are you gonna give the Pokemon like this? Basically the same thing as Hitmonlee is the reasoning here. And then seismic toss, again, same reasoning as Hitmonlee, but the more interesting fourth move, counter, I put it on here in a meager attempt to use its defense stat, its higher defense stat to its advantage. If you need a refresher, counter will deal double the damage back of whatever move that you use, as long as it's a normal or fighting type move. So like if your opponent hits you with body slam, you'll deal that damage back double. But if they hit you with like a bubble beam or something, or a water gun, whatever, then counter doesn't work. It only works on normal or fighting type moves, and that's very situational. I mean, almost everything in the game has normal type moves on it, and so it can be useful in that sense. But the fighting type move in particular, if you're playing a Ditto, maybe it's useful to use your opponent's power against you, but the HP stat isn't the best, which makes it kind of shaky. I wish there was something better I could put on it, but it's just how it is. Just like Hitmonlee, there's really nothing else here that's worth putting on, so counter it was. Similarly though, I will mention that you can put strength on there still. Hitmonchan rather does still learn strength, so maybe worth considering if you are in need of a strength user. But with all that said and done, just to reiterate, Hitmonchan is a disappointing Pokemon, but fine. The real problem with it isn't even how disappointing it is or how outclassed it is. The real problem with it is that it's locked behind a choice. If it wasn't a choice Pokemon between Hitmonlee and instead it was just like a wild capture Pokemon, it would change its story a lot. But as it stands, there's zero, and I do mean zero, reason to pick it over Hitmonlee. There's just no reason. So, unfortunately, Hitmonchan's just a victim of being a really poorly designed Pokemon in a poorly placed area, unlock method, whatever you want to call it. And even to some extent a victim of Gen 1's mechanics. If physical special split existed, then it would be maybe a different story, but alas, we don't live in that world, so just pass on it. Get Hitmonlee instead. The punching Pokemon punches in corkscrew fashion. It can punch its way through a concrete wall in the same way as a drill. Whoa. So yeah, the dynamic duo is together. I really just wanted to have those bios close together, in a row. And so I made the exception of being like, yeah, I'll just, I'll do the mid-episode trade. It'll be fine. But the reason that I chose to use Kadabra is because obviously I wasn't going to be training Hitmonlee. It's paired partner Pokemon thing. Obviously I wasn't going to be doing that, so... Route 7's right nearby, and because it's a unique Pokemon that you can get in yellow, I was like, why not? We'll just, we'll get that Kadabra, and if you're lucky, you'll run into a level 27 one, which doesn't even know teleport. And so it's like easier to catch than Abra is because you can, actually battle it properly and stuff like that. But that aside, we're going to go ahead and come up here into the 3rd floor Pokemon Tower. And as you might recall, the last time we were up here, there was ghosts everywhere and they were giving us some trouble. There's also some trainers and stuff up here that we can fight. Yeah, we'll just go for it. Channeler. That's what they're called. They're called channelers. I knew that. And she has a Gastly. Wow. Let's go ahead and Thunderbolt, because that's basically the only option we have. Oh, don't paralyze me. Don't do it. Okay, good. Okay. Chandler is defeated. Oh, I'm saved. What was up with you? The ghosts can be identified by the Sylph Scope. Yeah, you might recall that that was a little detail. And now that we have the Sylph Scope, we can identify ghosts, which makes our lives easier. Like such. Oh my god. We just ran into a Haunter right off the bat. That's crazy. This is a 5% encounter on this floor. And by the way, I know I'm bringing up the Kadabra again, but it's a 5% encounter on Route 8. I spent like 20 minutes and like easily like 50 plus encounters looking for that thing. It was crazy how like unlucky I was getting. And then I just run to a Haunter first try, no big deal. Anyway, I'm gonna run from it. I don't want to catch this thing, but I do want to catch something else. Like this Gastly. I finally get to talk about Gastly. Oh, this is going to be fun. So, Gastly is one of the Pokemon of all time. It is the only Pokemon in this game that is Ghost type. Therefore, get used to seeing this a lot. In Pokemon Tower especially, it's because it's the only Ghost type, it gets used all the time. Outside of that though, as a Pokemon itself that you could capture and use on your team, take a look at stats. 100 base special is crazy for an unevolved Pokemon. It might be better than Abra even. I can't remember if Abra had like 95 or if it had 105 or something like that. Either way, it's in that same tier, which is like kind of Abra-esque. And then of course it has high speed. Everything else on it kind of sucks. So it's going for the glass special cannon. If special, didn't also protect you from special hits. And because it has high special, it's good by default, right? You can kind of just throw this on your team and not be upset about it. However, what is there to not like about Gastly? Look at its typing. It's a ghost type. All right, cool. Ghost type is okay. You're immune to normal fighting type moves, sans certain weird moves that can still hit you anyway. However, you're also part poison type. Poison is a crippling weakness for Gastly. It is baffling because Gastly is supposed to be like the big counter to psychic types, presumably. And then of course they had that bug where Ghost actually isn't super effective against Psychic. Instead, Psychic is immune to Ghost. So that didn't happen. But then they also gave Gastly poison type, so it's weak to Psychic anyway, even if Ghost was actually super effective against Psychic. So it being weak to Psychic and weak to ground means that it's going to be taking a lot of damage. It can obviously eat up Psychics pretty well because of its high special, but being weak to Earthquake is really bad for it. At least in a competitive sense. In game, it's not the end of the world. It's still not great, but you can make anything work if you really want to. But its typing leaves a little bit to be desired there. Now, you might have been looking at its evolution data and noticing that this is indeed a trait evolution. So let's go ahead and look at its evolution at level 25. Haunter. Haunter gains 15 to every stat, and that's a trend. Its evolution also gains 15 every stat, which is really straightforward, and I actually kind of like it. You know, they don't do any like stat rebalancing or anything crazy. What you see is what you get, which is really good. And because this is a trait evolution, I do have the recommended moveset separated, as I usually do. And going straight into the recommended moveset here, I start off with Psychic. You might be wondering, what about a Ghost type move? And to that I say, what Ghost type move? We already have 2 of them in the moveset, and there is exactly one other one in the entire game. Yeah, that's right, there's 3 Ghost type moves, period. And the one not listed, Lick, is the only Ghost type move that does actual like damage. Like it has like a base power and it does damage, right? It's the only one in the game that does that as a Ghost type move, and it sucks. It has 20 base power, and it has like a 30% chance to paralyze. You should never use that move, especially on a Haunter, which has 50 base attack, and Ghost being a physical attacking type. I'm not gonna sit here and beat the dead horse, but you know, what is going on? What was Game Freak thinking? I don't know, but that leads us to having Psychic as our primary damaging move. You know, Psychic is just goated, and then Thunderbolt is a good backup special attacking move, I guess. It's hard to say no to it. And the only other special attacking type Haunter learns is Mega Drain for grass. So it's either that or Thunderbolt. And I mean, Thunderbolt, come on. You do have to teach it by TM, but you know, if you're using a Haunter, you pretty much know what you're signing up for. And then we move into the Ghost type moves. We have Nightshade, which is a signature move of the Gastly line. And what do I say about Nightshade? Nightshade is basically just the equivalent to Seismic Toss. It does damage equal to your level, right? Let me actually double check this real quick. Yeah, it does damage equal to your level. And unlike normally, where normal type is immune to Ghost type attacks, right? Nightshade hits normal types anyway, so it's just a nice, like, it can hit anything hard if you're a high enough level. Always good to have one of those. And then there's a Confuse Ray at the end. Confuse Ray is just, it confuses the opponent, 100% accurate, goated move. A lot of people think of Hypnosis when they think of the Gastly line, and that's valid to put on here if you really want. You could probably get rid of Nightshade or something like that. There's a little fun combo you can do with Hypnosis and Dream Eater. Hypnosis to put something to sleep, even though it's only 60% accurate, but what are you going to do? Not everything can have Spore. And then Dream Eater will do 100 base power of psychic damage on whatever it is that is asleep that you use it against. So you put something to sleep, you use Dream Eater, and boom, you've done 100 base power of damage, and you gain half of the HP that you inflict. So it's like a healing move and a high damage move all in one. Takes a bit of setup, but I mean, this Pokemon can do it, right? And it'll hurt with that special of 115. Woo! So there's a lot of fun things you can do with this line, and this is just the one that I chose, this moveset, but you can experiment on your own. And then that brings us to Gengar. Gengar is certainly a Pokemon. Look at that 130 special. 130 special is third best in the entire game. You know, only Alakazam and one other Pokemon are above it. Crazy good. This thing is, even though it's weak to a Psychic, like, goddamn, it's gonna at least take like a couple of hits before it goes down. It's pretty great. What's not to like about Gengar, right? And then all of its other stats have kind of caught up to the point where they're not all that bad. And you might even consider putting a physical move on it, namely like Explosion, for example. I almost forgot to talk about the differences between Haunter and Gengar. Besides the stats, of course, move pool wise, the only really big difference is that Gengar has a bunch of extra like early normal type TMs and the fighting type TMs. So Mega Punch, Mega Kick, Body Slam, Takedown, Double Edge, Hyper Beam, Submission, Counter, Seismic Toss. Otherwise, their moves pools are basically the same. Unfortunately, because Gengar doesn't have a good attack, it's really not worth putting any of those on, in my opinion. So I didn't. That's why the moveset is exactly the same. But again, you could mess around with like Explosion or Hyper Beam or something, because with the high speed, those are always going to crit. And that, therefore, even though the attack stat's really low, the base power being that high on those moves and just critting all the time, you can make it work, right? Outside of that, I alluded to this like some amount of bios ago, but obviously being the only ghost type in the game, this Pokemon has a unique typing of Ghost Poison, and this would have been like the only Pokemon to have a unique typing, just like period across every gen. And then Petrarunt came along and ruined his whole career. So rip the Gastly line in that sense. Had a nice 8 gen run there. Instead, Zubat is the undisputed champion. So outside of that, I don't think I have anything else to say about the Gastly line in general. Do I recommend this Pokemon? No. I was kind of gassing it up. Why do I not recommend it? Well, okay, so Gastly, or rather Haunter, assuming you can't evolve your Pokemon, Haunter is like kind of mid. It just like it's okay, I guess. If you do pick it up, it'll be good at what it does, but it's just it's so niche. Like I don't really see the need to pick this up over something else, other than it's just cool because it's the only ghost type in the game. You're probably best served just like picking up a psychic type or something like that, because the weakness to poison, the weakness to psychic and ground is pretty rough. It's hard to recommend it with that, and just with how little it really does that other team members can't. So Gengar, though, if you can get a Gengar is pretty noticeably better, to the point where I might be comfortable recommending it. But I don't know. It's just weird that it can't use any of its stabs. That's what really bothers me, is it doesn't get any poison or ghost type stab that's worth using. So then it's like, what's the point? It's kind of like a worse Alakazam that you're using it for, unless you're going to do some Hypnosis Dream Eater shenanigans, or like you really can get value out of like Confuse Ray, like whatever unique move pool that you can put on this thing. But at that point, like, you don't need me telling you what to get, right? So that's all I have for the Gastly line. I think I gush about it in the video later, but I love the sprites, the Gen 1 sprites for every single Pokemon in this evolutionary line. They're so good. It's like negative space being used so well, where you just have like the pitch black as the main body of the Pokemon. It's so good. I love it so much. You know what? I changed my mind. Just because it looks so cool, you pick it every time. Unless you're playing on like an original DMG and then you can't even see the color. And then what's the point, right? So anyway, cool Pokemon, but maybe pass up on it. The Gas Pokemon, said to appear in decrepit, deserted buildings. It has no real shape as it appears to be made of gas. No nickname. So yeah, as you can imagine, that's the only Pokemon here for us to catch. I'm actually gonna go deposit this and heal, and I'll be back. All right, I am back, and with that over with, I'm actually going to use a repel. We'll just, make my life a little bit easier. And we'll fight some more of these channelers. Be gone, evil spirit. You only have one Pokemon? And it's a Gastly. Who would have thought? Pika. I had forgotten that Seismic Toss like weirdly works on ghost type Pokemon in this game. Thanks Gen 1. But then I remembered right in time, so that made catching the Gastly easier. Oh my, I got paralyzed instantly. Are you kidding me? Now I have to go heal again. Because paralyzed Pikachu is like unplayable. Lesai. That's how I feel about that. Phew, the spirit left. Well, that was an amazing use of repel. Fighting this trainer too. Kiki. Kawa! Whatever the heck's going on there. All these sound effect noises that are written out in text. Don't you dare lick paralyze me again. We're gonna have to throw hands if you do that. Hey, you won't like it when I throw hands. Oh, you confused me. That's also bad, but not as bad. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Thank you. Thank you, Chubby Chew. Let's go. That's what you get, channeler. Stop channeling that spirit. What am I, what I am doing? What am I doing? Like that? I didn't read it. Anyhow, upward and forward onto the 4th floor. You're still not level 34. Wow. Okay. Be cursed with me. Qua. Channeler sound Gastly, of course. Come on, Chubby Chew. I know that you suck, but yes. No. At least we didn't get paralyzed. I can deal with Nightshade taking like 20 of my HP, but I cannot deal with paralysis. We have to go through this again. Honestly, Gastly is such an annoying Pokemon to fight because it has all these really dumb moves, and it's got Nightshade, which will damage you a set amount. It's got Lick, which can paralyze you. It's got Confuse Ray. Like, I mean, what else could you possibly want in an annoying Pokemon besides like a sleep move and like, I mean, that's really it. What? What? What's this? An elixir. Ooh, that's pretty good. Pretty damn good. What about this? An awakening. Okay, well, that's not as good. Still at level 34. This girl's blind, evidently. Beat me. Not. Beat me not. Interesting. Gastly. This one's lower level. Can you just like crit? If you crit, that would be amazing. Thank you. Oh. Chubby Chew heard my pleas. Oh, who? What? Another item down here. A lot of items on this floor. HP up. Okay, hold on. Hold the phone. HP up is actually interesting. Let's give this to Lumen. Yeah, Lumen's the only one that even makes any sense. Okay. We have one more channeler here. Are you still not level 34? Chobichu, I'm gonna punt you off the side of a cliff. Ghost! No! Kwa! Still Gastly. I guess it's not the worst thing. Possibly better than having a Haunter show up. No, no. Oh, okay. I'll take it. Level 34. Finally. Where is the ghost? Hopefully nowhere around here. Get you out of here. Alright, now up here, we have the misfortune of wanting to get an item down here. There's one on this, like, wall, I guess, an elixir. And there goes our repel. But that's actually perfect timing, because I do actually want to catch something else on this floor. Holy crap, I found one. My luck has been abhorrent tonight. Holy crap. Yes, Cubone. While not a ghost type, Cubone does get placed in the Pokemon Tower because it has a pretty strong connection to the concept of death. And so it kind of gets a pass, and they're just like, let's put it here. And as such, this is our other available encounter here in Pokemon Tower. And as a pure ground type, Cubone's main competition, right, is Sandshrew and Diglett. I, of course, went the Diglett route for my team, but what's the draw for Cubone, right? Well, the draw is that Cubone's like Sandshrew if Sandshrew got ground type moves via level up. That's what the real draw is. It's like, I wanted to Sandshrew, but I didn't want to invest the TMs into it because I wanted to use like my Earthquake TM on something else, for instance. Then you pick up a Cubone maybe because it's similarly defensive and has a good enough attack, but also learns both Bone Club and Bone Moraine by level up, which are both signature moves to the Cubone line. And they're not anything too special. Both of them are not 100% accurate, which kind of sucks, to be completely honest. Bone Club in particular is a 65 base power, 85% accurate move that has a 10% chance to make the target flinch. It's the like early game move that you'll have. Like as soon as you catch one, it should have it. And it's okay for what it is. It's not dig, right? It's not that good, but at least it's faster, I guess, because it's not a 2-turn move. And it should be serviceable. And then Bone Moraine is its like bigger, a huge attack. What it does is it's 50 base power, which sounds bad. It's like worse than Bone Club, right? 50 base power. But it does hit two times in one turn. So it's a double hit move that does 100 base power total damage, right? If it crits, I think it does more damage than Earthquake does, but I'm not 100% sure on that. And either way, it's only 90% accurate, and Cubone is not the fastest Pokemon, so it's not going to crit all that often. Anyway, all that said though, I would tentatively be able to say that this is a decent Pokemon for what it's going for, right? The bulkier, good attack, high defense, good HP, but with ground type moves by level up. That's not bad. That's an okay niche to have. And I mean, honestly, looking at Cubone's stats, they're not anything special, right? I mean, it has a good defense of 95, but everything else is like very bad, right? Let's go ahead and look at its evolution at level 28, Marowak. Marowak looks a lot better, right? Its attack actually like seems like it's pretty good now. It has decent HP to be able to back up its defense, and it otherwise is pretty slow and has middling special. The other thing, the other draw about Marowak or Cubone that I haven't talked about yet is its move pool. Marowak has like an odd move pool where it learns, for some reason, special attacking moves. And no other ground type does this besides like Nidoking and Nidoqueen, stuff like that. But like no pure ground type does this. So you could say that there's a draw there, right? I wouldn't fault you for that. The moves that it can learn are quite strange. It can learn Bubble Beam and Water Gun. It can learn Ice Beam, Blizzard. It can learn Fire Blast. And that covers all of its special attacking moves. This gives it actually decent coverage, right? Even though its special is not a good stat on it, it can do the job, especially if you have something that's quad weak. So, always worth considering, especially because it is something unique about the Pokemon that might make you consider it. Now, looking at its recommended moveset that I've curated for it, Earthquake, of course. I mean, come on. Just because it doesn't get by level up doesn't mean it can't learn it. And on average, it's just going to be better than Bone Moraine. The 90% accuracy of Bone Moraine really holds it back, in my opinion, more than anything. And because you're not going to be critting like at all with this Pokemon, it's really not worth it, right? But if you really don't want to use the Earthquake TM on this Pokemon, I think Bone Moraine is okay. So it is worth considering if you have something else that would maybe benefit from having the Earthquake TM more. So moving on, I put Blizzard on this moveset. One, I want to be able to like take advantage of its wide move pool, oddly wide move pool, but also it doesn't have a whole lot better to put on it. It's just kind of, you look at its move pool and you're like, I guess you can put like you could try to put like Submission on there or something, or maybe Body Slam and like Hyper Beam. I don't know. Nothing really stands out. It does learn Strength, which is okay, I guess. Either way, though, I was like, Blizzard can help it hit flying types as a super effective coverage option, and because Blizzard can freeze and it's 90% accurate in this game, it's just really good. And the high base power helps mitigate the low special stat that it has. I would say it's probably better than Body Slam against flying types, because Earthquake can't hit flying types at all. Flying's immune to ground, right? But if you have something that's quad weak to Blizzard, it probably does more than Body Slam. So like something like a Dragon Flying type, for instance, could be a good target for that. It also just if you want to freeze something, all that junk. And then I also think that Fire Blast, while I'm on this topic, is an okay move for it. I don't know if I'd ever put like Bubble Beam on here, but Fire Blast I could see a use case for, because it covers grass, which is something you're weak to, which is always a pretty good thing. And then moving on, I have Body Slam, and Body Slam is just a nice physical attack for it to use. There's nothing really special about it. And then Counter. This was my frail attempt at trying to use its defense stat again. I love putting counter on things that have high defense. You could, substitute this out for Strength or whatever. If you're feeling extremely exotic, maybe even toxic. But I don't know. This Pokemon does learn Seismic Toss, and I kind of considered that for a little bit, but then I was like, Counter's just so cool and fun and unique. I feel like who uses Counter, right? And I don't know how often you're going to be fighting things that are going to throw normal and fighting type moves at you, but you can use Counter, I guess, and it might work. So all in all, I would say if you don't have a ground type yet, you probably want a ground type. They're just really useful. Being immune to electric is really powerful, and being able to hit as many things super effectively as ground does, also very powerful. This is not a bad choice. Like, I think Gen 1 Marowak kind of gets left behind, you know, because it comes really late compared to everything else and all that. But I don't know. I can recommend it. I feel a little bit hesitant, but I will recommend it. It's a good ground type for this point in the game if you don't have one yet. If you instead want to wait even more, there is another option, but it is a part rock type, so it's not exactly the same as just a pure ground type, and you might have hesitations about that Pokemon in particular anyway. So yeah, I mean, okay, Pokemon. It has weird, unique attributes that make it kind of cool and maybe worth recommending, so there you go. The lonely Pokemon. Where's the skull of its deceased mother? Its cries echo inside the skull and come out as a sad melody. They don't hold back with the somber tones, the dark notes. No nickname. Yeah, so Cubone is found starting on floor 5, which is the floor we're on, of course, and okay. You're kidding me, I found another one immediately. This game is giving me a huge FU right now, and I don't appreciate it. Come, child, I sealed this space with white magic. You can rest here. Yeah, so these, are you kidding? Okay, good, at least it wasn't Cubone. I was gonna... you don't even want to know what would have happened. Run away from it, please. Thank you. So yes, these 4 tiles are the Purified Zone. Enter the Purified Protected Zone. And it's basically a Pokemon Center for your party without having to talk to a nurse, which is like the biggest upgrade ever. I'm gonna bring back out Lumen. I just had Rossetti out to use Rock Slide against that Cubone, but I kid you not, I caught, or I didn't catch, but I encountered 3 different Haunters in a row, which are also a 5% encounter, just like Cubone was. And I did that like really early on to trying to find that Cubone. You shall join us. I was like, what is my luck? It's ridiculous. But enough about that. I do have to say that the Gastly sprite and the Haunter sprite, honestly, the entire Gastly line of sprites really peaked in Gen 1. Like, in color on the Super Game Boy, and I guess on the Game Boy Color as well. For Pokemon Yellow, at least. Man, do they look good. They look properly scary, like kind of spooky. With the, you know, the basically pitch black and the orb part, and then like the ghastly purple around it. It's so good. What a nightmare. I'll fight you as well. Give me your soul. Fetch me their souls. You've only got 1 Pokemon, and it's a Haunter. Oh, yeah, look at that Haunter sprite. That Haunter sprite in particular is so good. I'm kind of spooked. And then, of course, if we're lucky, it'll use Nightshade on us. Or that. Confuse Ray works too. I love the way that the screen makes the, You know, the colors swap and it looks really good. Don't do it. Don't do it to me. God damn it. But yeah, just everything about Gen 1 lends itself perfectly to the Gastly lines looking like the best it literally has ever looked in a Pokemon game. Level 34, let's go. Gasp. I'm really bad at making a gasping sound on command. Or probably just in general, honestly. Alright, let's purify because I want to go this way. We got another channeler. Zombies! Where? I like zombies. We were just quoting zombies earlier. COD zombies specifically. Dig. We finally have something super effective against Gastly. With ground against poison. Huh? Ooh, a nugget. Okay. I'll take it. Channeler. Oh, you also have a Haunter. Okay. Unfortunately, we're not going to be able to see it attack because, you know, it's going to miss and then we just kill it. But that's just how it goes. Woo! We'll pretend that that was supposed to be really cheery. Alright, we have the 6th floor. Give me blood! Is this supposed to be a children's game? Question mark? Not in the 90s. In the 90s, the children's games had a lot less strictness. You want to have a crazy, oh man, what's it called? Possessed lady that's screaming, "Give me blood" at you in a, you know, old graphic style that's not really all that scary. Yeah, you can do that. Why not? Do that today though, and they're like rated T for teen at least. Do these have ESRB ratings? These old Game Boy games? I assume they must, right? Grown. Axe accuracy. Okay, well that's useless for me, but like this gal. Key. It sounded like it was hard to get out. Chandler got Gastly. How original. Dig. I'm digging a hole. Wait, we're gonna dig a pee-pee. Nah, we'll be fine. Do I level up? Oh, I do level up. Well. Key? Yeah, I mean, what if I just fought this other channeler real quick, you know? Ugh, Qua! Another Gastly. How many Pokemon does channeler have? I wasn't paying attention. Oh, that was just one. Okay. Something fell out. I'm leaving. I don't feel comfortable. Rare candy just sitting there blocking your path. As far as I know, that's the only like non-key item that's required to beat the game, because you have to go through there, right? They're like making sure that you know that rare candies exist. There we go. In perfect order once more. Actually, this is a bad idea. I'm gonna bring Lumen out. Repel's effect wore off. God damn it. Be gone. Intruders. Ghost appeared. Sylph Scope unveiled the ghost's identity. Wild Marowak appeared. So this is the roadblock I was talking about way back when, a few episodes ago. Once you get to the 6th floor and you try to progress upstairs, you run into this ghost. If you don't have the Sylph Scope, then it's just a ghost, right? And you straight up can't do anything to it. If you were to bring a Pokédoll up here, if you recall, Pokédoll, when you use it, will instantly flee from a battle. If you use one of those on this Marowak, even as a ghost, then it will instantly end the battle and you just like can progress. This is a glitch, not intended, not nothing like that. It is a glitch because they did fix it in the remake. That's how we know. And a lot of people kind of like to use it as a marker of like, oh well, I'm just gonna do the glitch because I don't really want to do the rocket hideout. Yeah, fair enough, whatever. But because we're doing a 100% let's play anyway, we're going to do the rocket hideout anyway. So I figured we'd do things properly, but also it's kind of funny because it's like if you run from the Marowak normally, it doesn't instantly end the battle. You just like re-encounter it if you try to go upstairs again. And so the only way forward is to defeat it, traditionally speaking. And that's why we brought Lumen. Also, even though it's a wild Marowak, it's a ghost and you can't catch it. Like if you try to throw a Pokeball or something at it, it'll just like, I think it just misses or something like that. Either way, it just doesn't work. So don't think about it. Enemy Marowak fainted. The ghost was the restless soul of Cubone's mother. The mother's soul was calmed. It departed to the afterlife. Bring Chubby G back out. Now with that done, we can move forward. This floor looks different. I'm suspicious. Oh, of course. Stop right there. Grandpa here wanted to complain, so we're setting him straight. I almost read that C thing. So render yourself invisible or prepare to fight. Render yourself invisible. That's a funny pun. Alright, well, it's just Team Rocket. Who cares? You can just Thunderbolt and such our way to victory. If you're playing red or blue instead, this is like a gauntlet of like 3 or 4 trainers or something like that. Just like normal Rocket grunts. Lose out on some experience. Say that much. Don't poison me. God. I don't want to talk about it. What's that one law where it's like if something will go wrong or can go wrong, it always will? That's what's happening. Sludge, whoa. The only like good poison type move in the game. Oh, it's really good. It kind of killed me almost, but we win because we don't take poison damage after this. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. You will regret this. You will regret it. Looks like Team Rocket's blasting off again. Okay, well, we have a problem now. I'm going to use my antidote. Finally using an antidote. Still level 34 somehow. I'll just keep Pikachu out, I guess. There's no way. One last Gastly, huh? Good thing we could just run away from it, right? Yep. Alright, you must be Grandpa. Mr. Fuji. Eh? You came to save me? Thank you, but I came here of my own free will. I came to call the soul of Cubone's mother. I already did it. I think Marowak's spirit has gone to the afterlife. I must thank you for your kind concern. Follow me to my home, Pokemon House, at the foot of this tower. Yeah, we're in this this one house again. Mr. Fuji had been praying alone for Cubone's mother. I believe, I mean, it's been a while since I've been down here, but I believe one of these people told us about Cubone losing its mother or something like that. When we were here on episode 9, I think it was. So warm. Pokemon are so nice to hug. What are you hugging? Oh, a Psyduck. Okay. Interesting. Red. Your Pokedex quest may fail without love for your Pokemon. I think this may help your quest. You're wrong, because friendship evolution doesn't exist yet. You got a Pokeflute. Upon hearing Pokeflute, sleeping Pokemon will spring awake. It works on all sleeping Pokemon. He is not joking, by the way. The Pokeflute, which we have in our bag now, is literally just an awakening, but it's infinite use. It's pretty cool. As such, I'm actually gonna carry it on us, I guess. Is it the stupid awakening that we already have? I'm gonna bring it like way up to the top here. We're gonna bring it where are we gonna put it? We're gonna put it above the escape ropes. Yeah, right there is good. Perfect. I got a lot of junk I need to sell actually. So let's go do that. We're gonna empty our inventory. We're gonna sell some stuff. We're gonna put some stuff in the box. It'll be great. Like I could sell this awakening, honestly. I might actually do that. Obviously, we don't want to sell Team 29. Yeah, let's just sell the awakening. I don't even need it anymore. And then Nugget will sell. X accuracy will sell. And that's it. Okay. But with all that done dealed, we're gonna end this episode right here. So if you like the video, please hit like. If you really like the video and you want to see more, consider subscribing. And if you dislike the video, then hit dislike. Otherwise, I'll see everyone next time.